Over 170 days now, the families of Israeli hostages still captive in the Gaza Strip have been in a state of desperation. Most have no idea where their loved ones are or if they're even alive. And sadly, for the family of 19-year-old Itay Chen, they were forced to learn of his fate 2 weeks ago when the IDF officially announced that Itay had been killed and abducted by Hamas on October 7th. The teen was serving in the IDF 7th Armored Brigade's 75th Battalion on that dark Saturday, and his body was taken from the Gaza border following a battle with terrorists during the Hamas onslaught. Well, joining us now is Ruby Chen, the father of Itay Chen. Now, Ruby, the families of soldiers taken hostage in Gaza are expected to meet with Prime Minister Netanyahu on Thursday, that's tomorrow. What can we expect out of this meeting? What do you want to say to him?
First, evening 173 to you and all the viewers. When it comes to the Prime Minister, first of all, it has been unfortunate that the families of the IDF soldiers asked to meet the Prime Minister in this forum somewhere in December, and only now he has found time to meet us. I think that the Prime Minister needs to be able to convey in a very concise, direct way what is the actions that he is doing as the Prime Minister of the civilians and citizens that were abducted on October 7th to get them back after 6 months of captivity.
Ruby, we are seeing more and more families of hostages held in Gaza speaking out and really expressing anger and disappointment with the government for failing to reach a deal at this point. I mean, how do you think the families feel about the government's performance so far overall? And what do they want to see happen right now?
Well, unfortunately, it's kind of like a black and white type of process. Either the hostages come back or do not. And I think part of the issue is that the negotiators from the Israeli side, we have excellent people. We have the head of Mossad, head of the Shin Bet. We have Nitzan Alon, an awesome individual, that are not being given a mandate to be creative in finding solutions to bring an end to this hell that we've been living for over 170 days. And the demand that we have from the cabinet to give the negotiators the complete mandate to find a way to get a deal for the living as well as for the deceased.
I'd like to just ask you, is there anything that you would want the world to understand about what your family has been going through, what these families as a whole have been going through during this time, and kind of the message that you would want to send to the world?
Yeah, so maybe we'll talk about our specific tragedy, where when notified by the IDF as well as US officials, the next phase is to talk about a Shiva, which is the Jewish tradition of week of mourning and prayer for the deceased. And instinctively, we told my wife and I to the officials that we will not start a Shiva until Itay is back with us where he should be. And we afterwards got actually some backing from the Jewish Shulchan Aruch that talks about the fact that you do a Shiva when you have no hope of having a burial for the deceased. And that is the same message that I conveyed to President Biden when he called, Vice President Harris, Secretary of State Blinken, Senator Schumer, and numerous other senators and congressmen, and some Israeli officials that called, including President Herzog. And they all got it. And it's symbolic for us to say that our journey has not ended. It will only end as well as with the other 134 families that our loved ones are back with us where they belong after they were abducted and taken from us. And the government of Israel has no other urgent project, task, than bringing our loved ones back home.
Well, I'd like to send my condolences to your family. This is just such a terrible and tough time. We're thinking and praying for your family and praying that you're going to be able to receive your son's body back home so you can properly bury him. Thank you so much for joining us. And, hopefully we're not going to need to have you back on here soon because there will be a deal made to make that happen.
Thank you.